All right, welcome back, True Seekers. Another episode of Live with Jonathan, and talk about a lot of recent hip hop related deaths and tragedies. But Jonathan wants to start right here tonight: the fatal shooting of Andy Lopez. And with that said, Jonathan, you got the floor.
Yeah, I wanted to mention Andy Lopez. A lot of these murders by the police, they people forget about them. It goes down the memory hole, and I wanted to bring this up because of the fact that of where it happened at. Because this shooting happened in Santa Rosa, California, one of the safest, cleanest counties in the whole state of California. Santa Rosa is in Sonoma County, and so I wanted to talk about the shooting of Andy Lopez. So the fatal shooting of Andy Lopez by the Sonoma County Sheriff's Deputy Eric Galehouse took place on October 22nd, 2013 in Santa Rosa, California. Now, October 22nd, 2013, that's a date with 38 date numerology. And the word death equals 38. And it's, this happened in a place like Sonoma. It's rare that you get something like this to happen. So Andy Lopez is a 13-year-old boy, and he was walking through a vacant lot carrying an airsoft gun that was designed to resemble an AK-47 assault rifle. The deputy Galehouse opened fire on Lopez, presumably mistaking the airsoft gun for a real firearm. The shooting prompted many protests in Santa Rosa and throughout California. And so this happened over 7 years ago, and I want to bring this up because the district attorney in Sonoma County, Jill Ravage, she's being recalled because she did a terrible job not only on this case but many other cases, and it's just time to call out these crooked politicians for who they are. And the sad part about this Andy Lopez case is that it never even went to trial because that was the district attorney's call. So on July 7, 2014, District Attorney Jill Ravage announced no charges would be filed against Galehouse. On July 1st, 2015, almost a year later, the FBI announced no criminal charges would be filed against Galehouse due to lack of evidence to prove that he violated Lopez's civil rights.
That date, 7-7. Remember, that's a police officer equals 77. It's just like Dallas the other year had that big shootout with the police department on 7-7. It's probably like in 2015 or something like that.
So Eric Galehouse is a Sonoma County Sheriff's deputy, and he worked for the agency for 24 years. He was also an Iraq war veteran. He's also a firearms instructor and is a contributing writer to gun publications. So obviously he's well familiar with guns. I'm going to read about exactly how it happened, but he's very familiar with guns. This 13-year-old boy was murdered for no reason. And it doesn't matter that it was almost 10 years ago. People need to think about what's going on. Even in a clean county like Sonoma, Sonoma is where all the wine grows. This is the valley. We're in wine country. So like this is rare for something like this to happen. And the district attorney basically just swept everything under the rug. The word Eric Galehouse equals 56 in full reduction. Eric Galehouse also equals 119. The name of the district attorney, Jill Ravage, equals 74. Of course, that big number. The word Andy Lopez equals 118. homicide equals 118 in Jewish, death equals 118 in Jewish.
You know
And
what
the
else is interesting about his name? It has 72, and the shooting was on the day leaving 70 days left in the year. And his name's 119 and 56 and 205, just like All Seeing Eye. And Fraternal Order of Police is 119, and in their logo, they got the All Seeing Eye. So, yeah, that's suspicious. That is suspicious.
okay, yep. The and with Andy Lopez, he has some faithful. He had the 118, and then Andy Lopez also equals 46 in full reduction. So just back to the story. Let me explain what happened here. According to the report, according to Santa Rosa Police Lieutenant Paul Henry, two Sonoma County Sheriff deputies were patrolling the Moreland Avenue neighborhood when they spotted Andy Lopez approximately 25 yards ahead carrying an airsoft replica of an AK-47 assault rifle. While he was walking on Moreland just past the corner of West Robles Avenue, the rifle appeared to be a real weapon since its orange tip had been previously broken off. As the sheriff's deputies approached the child, Gale House rated an observation of code 20, 2 units, at 3:13 p.m. Schemmel activated the light bar and briefly sounded the siren as he parked the patrol vehicle. Galehouse exited the passenger's side, calling out to demand that Lopez drop the weapon. Lopez turned to his right towards the deputies, and the barrel allegedly began to ascend. Allegedly. And remember, this never even went to trial or nothing. So think a good defense attorney would have ate that up. The barrel allegedly began to ascend at 3:14 p.m. Galehouse fired 8 shots at Lopez from his department-issued 9mm handgun. The deputies broadcast shots fired to dispatch at 3:14 p.m., indicating the total time from initial contact to the shooting was 17 seconds. Remember, the word kill equals 17.
And teen, since he was a teenager. Both those words.
By Galehouse's own testimony, he opened fire a couple seconds after issuing the command for Lopez to drop the airsoft gun. So he admitted it himself. He said by his own testimony, he only gave him a couple seconds. And this is a 13-year-old boy we talk about. 7 bullets hit Andy within 6 seconds. 2 of the shots delivered fatal wounds, with 1 round hitting Lopez on his side while he was turning to face the police. So just to move a little further, the missing orange tip is a U.S. legal requirement for all toy guns for import. However, airsoft and pellet rifles are exempted from the marking requirements. It's also a violation of California law to openly display or expose any imitation firearm in a public place unless the entire exterior surface of the imitation firearm is painted with the specific color. The 13-year-old friend from whom Andy borrowed the replica later reported that he felt responsible because he allowed Andy to borrow the gun, even though the orange tip of the barrel was broken off, making it look real. But my point is that as a 24-year veteran of the police who was an Iraq war veteran, and he even admitted that after he told Andy to drop the weapon, he basically opened fire just after a couple seconds of him letting them know to drop the weapon. So you still with me?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So so the FBI conducted an investigation, and like I said, that was dropped too. So this is what they came up with. Investigators said Gelhaus feared for the safety of himself and his partner and had to make an immediate decision to shoot Lopez, turned around and allegedly began raising the apparent assault weapon in their direction. The gun was later found to be an AK-47 replica airsoft pellet gun with the orange barrel tip marking required to help distinguish it from a real weapon broken off. Most witnesses believe this was real or might be real. Witnesses testified that Galehouse had, by then, once or twice loudly called upon Lopez to drop the weapon. Galehouse was in a deputy sheriff's uniform and marked sheriff's patrol car. However, Lopez would not have seen the uniform or patrol car since the officers approached him from behind. So here's what happens. Um, so at some point, he just let's see. At some point, he gets a promotion. The same police officer. Okay. So on July 7, 2014, District Attorney Jill Ravitch announced no charges would be filed against Galehouse. In August 2014, Galehouse was allowed to return to patrolling the streets. So, not even, less than a year later, he's back on the streets. So on July 1st, 2015, the U.S. Department of Justice announced that it would not file criminal charges of violating one's civil rights against Galehouse. So they said that due to insufficient evidence that he willfully used excessive force that resulted in Lopez's death. So there was, according to the FBI agents, there was a lack of evidence that Galehouse violated Andy Lopez's civil rights.
The police are always in the right. So, what else is new?
Yep. So, in a memorial park was created for Lopez in December 2013, located near the site of his death. So in March 2016, the Sonoma County Board of Supervisors approved an additional $1.2 million of fund money for the park and a name for it. The park is named Andes Unity Park and encompasses 4.22 acres. The park estimated cost was $4 million. So this just goes to show you that even in a clean place like Santa Rosa, the police are still out here killing innocent kids. And I feel like this is right on time since they just passed that the George Floyd law.
Right. On the anniversary of the Rodney King beating.
But
at this. The two big protests were November 5th, the day leaving 56 days left in the year, and then the next one was November 9th, and you just said how the officer's name is 56 and 119. So, and I see Cindy Sheehan was there. I don't know if you remember that name, but she is a total fraud. And it just makes me wonder, did this story even really happen, or is this just like another one of these contrived stories to work people up? So the numbers are also perfect again.
Right. Good point.
Yeah.
I mean, and for something like that to happen in a town like this, they've been talking about it ever since it happened. And it's over 7 years now.
For sure. Yeah.
And there's nothing that really happens here in Santa Rosa.
Sure. It says on June 2nd, 2020, a memorial in March was held in Santa Rosa in Lopez's honor. And again, 6'2", Floyd 62, just like how yesterday, the 62nd day of the year. So
but guess what? His birthday is 6/2, June 2nd of the year 2000.
Yeah.
His birthday is too.
Yeah, it just makes me wonder. It's
And
like, is this even real? Is this story real? I just don't know. So
he and then he supposedly the day he died, it happened on a date with 38 date numerology,
on
as
the
well as 45 date numerology
cities
for
on
the
the 30th.
for the
They'll do
ritual.
like George Floyd on 38th Street, and his murder trial starts in 4 days on 3/8.
So I mean, it's just sad, you know. This you're supposed to be an army veteran. You've been on the police force for 24 years. You've been to the Iraq War. You're a weapons instructor. You know all about guns, but you tell the kid to drop the weapon and don't even give him a few seconds for him to even. And obviously, he was high off weed because they put it in the report. Like, you know, like that has anything to do with anything, but they put it in the report. He was high off weed. Sometimes it takes a second for you to, especially a 13-year-old boy. He didn't even give him a second before he opened fire. And
Right.
stuff like this goes down the memory hole, and it needs to be brought up.
Yeah. Yeah. So pretty soon we'll have the RoboCops.
Right. Well, um, so just to change the subject, uh, today's March the 4th. So every time when I thought about today, March 4th, I thought about 34, and I thought about the fact that Bankroll Fresh was murdered 5 years ago today.
There was a death of a black entertainer today. Did you catch that?
No,
I
I
never
didn't.
before. DJ Advicer was found dead today. He's on something called Happy FM, which I don't know what that is, but his stage name has the 7659 encoding, like Slave Negro Blues, and then Dead on 3-4, Black 34, Murder 34 was the one entertainer death I saw today.
Huh. So, but look how they did a Bankroll Fresh. The word rapper equals 34, and he was shot and killed 5 years ago on March 4th. And then he got killed, right? And then 4 years after he got killed, 4 years later, which was last year, his album, his first album dropped since he's been dead, and it dropped on 3/4. It dropped on 3/4, 4 years after he died.
And 4 is associated with death. Okay.
And the person who they say killed him was another rapper named No Plug. So supposedly No Plug got away with it. It's, he got off self-defense. But the thing about it is that No Plug, I mean, like it's crazy how they take the one with the talent and they leave the one with the no talent still living. Like No Plug has absolutely no talent, but they take away somebody with talent like Bankroll Fresh. And I'm not saying Bankroll Fresh was the best rapper ever, but he had way more talent than No Plug did. So, and he's thinking, okay, well, he's probably thinking, supposedly he got off self defense, right? But he's thinking that he's gonna blow up now because he killed another rapper. But his music's so trash, it still didn't go anywhere. Even with because you're getting a lot of street credibility, right? You killed another rapper, but the music's still so trash, it still didn't go anywhere. So it's just crazy, like how like that's this basically when I found you 5 years ago. I found you after Super Bowl 50, and then this was one of the very first videos that I saw that you made was on Bankroll Fresh because this happened around the time I saw you. I mean, around the time I found you, and
Right, right.
so I was like, and now I think about it, like, wow, I can't believe it's been 5 years already.
Time flies, man. It does.
He would have been 33 years old too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he was this. And what happened? He was associated with Two Chains, and Two Chains' career's blown up. Two Chains is dropping album after album. He just dropped an album last year, late last year. And so somebody has to benefit.
And he was signed to Two Chains.
I don't think he was necessarily signed to Two Chains, but or he might have been. I haven't checked that part, but I think that Two Chains was looking out for him. Like Two Chains is the bigger name, so he was helping him out with some features.
I
You,
forget
you know,
the rapper that was shot right in front of the studio.
yeah, he was in front of the studio, Bankroll Fresh.
I feel like I had a picture, and I feel like the address on the studio was, yeah, it is. The address on the studio was 1740, and he died 174 days after Two Chains' birthday. And then in the picture they put out in the media, the only numbers they had shown on that license plate, I remember that, were the 44 QBH, and then you could see the 44, and down in Georgia as well, Georgia 44 like shooting.
Oh, the 44, yeah. Let me check to see if maybe Two Chains owns that studio. I mean, it's got to be something. Because Two Chains own Street Ex- right?
It
Studio. Yeah, he
changed.
he Two Chains just dropped an album last year. Okay,
Yeah,
let's see.
if you do the gematria, if you don't add the number, just the way he spells chains has that gematria 34 too. Two chains. So yeah, I think that death was for him. So yeah, it's messed up, man.
Hmm.
And he died 153 days before his 84th birthday. And Jesuit orders 153, and Jesuits 84, and down in Atlanta on the 84th Meridian West. So same old patterns.
Oh, right, right, yeah, and it's sad. It's just with the same thing with Catchy the Great. So Catchy the Great is he's pretty much the biggest rapper to die in 2021 out of the new generation. So Catchy the Great was his rapper from LA, and he died in a car crash. And so his real name is Jamian Davis, and he worked with the rap group Stink Team.
I see that.
Stink Team is led by Drakeo the Ruler. Instagram tweet or whatever they call it. And Drakeo the Ruler, who's the leader of the Stink Team, he wrote that Catchy the Great just got hit by a random. He just put it just like that. He got hit by a random. So he's saying he just got hit by a random car and that's it. I mean, like, how strange is this? You
Happens a lot.
know,
Entertainment things just happen. We just had that 29-year-old actor just be found dead for no reason the other day. So
yeah, no,
Stink.
yeah, he put it just like that. He got hit by a random. He put that on Twitter.
Last time you were on here, you're talking about how you kept noticing the number 139 everywhere in the rap world. Stink Team, the way they spell it's 139. So
Right, that 139 is on the Stink Team, exactly.
34th prime and rappers 34. So
And
yeah.
then he dies in L.A. and of course, Tupac claimed that L.A. and he died on the famous 139 date.
Yeah, September 13th.
But his real name, Jamian Davis, equals 113, 41, 184, and 67.
That's the problem right there. He's got that 67 in his name. That 29-year-old entertainer that just died from that show, Degrassi something in Canada. He died exactly 67 months after the show ended. And then it's like Nicki Minaj, her father just died on 67th day of her age. Always that same number, 67, blood sacrifice number for people who don't know.
Yeah. Human sacrifice, right? And then notice the 41. He's a LA rapper. LA's 41.
Right.
Kobe died at 41. Notice all these rappers that are dying from LA, and their numbers always are closely associated with Kobe. Joe 113, that's Kobe number. 41, that's a Kobe number, and LA number. Jamie Davis, which is Catchy the Great. And not only that, but Catchy the Great equals 66, and that's the big LeBron number. And Catchy the Great equals 66 in full reduction, the big, huge LeBron number. And Trippie Redd, the big rapper from Ohio, equals 66. Doughboy, the big rapper from Cleveland, equals 66. And there's a whole long list as far as 66 goes with LeBron.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And then Catchy the Great's biggest song is called If I Go Broke, equals 56.
Hold on. Before you get on that, just for people who are trying to make their friends and family up to this, go back and look at the year LeBron won his first finals, everybody. He won it in the 66 season, and that year they shortened the season to 66 games, and the guy's name equals 66. And then in Jewish gematria, the word king is also 66, since they call him King James. But, yeah, LeBron got his first championship in the 66 season with 66 games. Okay, I just had to put that out there.
Yeah, there's so much 66 that goes with LeBron. But yeah, so Catchy the Great's biggest song is okay, and he was on that. I'm looking at the screen again. So he was in 03. Greedo was a big rapper from L.A. He's in prison now, but Catchy the Great was featured on 4 different songs on this album that 03 Greedo came out with called The Wolf of Grape Street. And so Catchy got a lot of buzz. He started buzzing big after he was on this album. So he wasn't like a huge rapper known everywhere, but he was big in LA. He wasn't even really big. That he was big throughout California, but he wasn't even that big in California. He was more local. But he was with the Stink Team, and Drake Yo the Ruler is the leader of that clique, right? But what happens? Drake Yo the Ruler has been in jail for like 3.5 years or something for an attempted murder, right? That he beat. But he gets out, and then he gets a feature from Drake. So now he has his big feature with Drake. So he gets a feature from Drake, and then next thing you know, his partner gets hit by a random car. You see what I'm saying? It's the same thing with the same thing with Lil Durk. And okay, now I heard you talking about Pooh Shiesty, right? Okay, now check this out. Now, Pooh Shiesty, he really started buzzing after he came out with the song with Lil Durk. So Lil Durk, obviously, we talk about Lil Durk all the time. He's the biggest rapper out of Chicago. So Lil Durk and Pooh Shiesty, they make a song together that came out the same night that King Von died. By the way, we predicted King Von's death, right? So the night that King Von died, November 6th, Pooh Shiesty comes out with this song featuring Lil Durk. So then he started buzzing since then. So he was buzzing since November 6th, Pooh Shiesty. But nobody really ever heard of Pooh Shiesty before then. Now, Pooh Shiesty was involved in some kind of shootout in South Florida. Remember, I told you that's like one of the requirements now. You got to be friendly with the weapon. Excuse me. But
Did you catch that this Catchy the Great died on a 38 date numerology?
oh
Because he
yeah,
died
I was gonna
February
come back to
16th.
that. Yep, 38. Just
Yeah,
like just like the number. That's the biggest number. Probably the biggest number on rappers is 38.
yeah, yeah,
67, 44.
yeah.
But but um so so anyway, uh this is how they do it. Like, okay, the biggest street rapper was King Von, right? And then the night King Von dies, what happens? This is the introduction to Pooh Shiesty. Now, Pooh Shiesty is the biggest street gangster rapper. On the night that King Von died, this is when you get introduced to Pooh Shiesty. And his music is trash. But and notice that what happened with Pooh Shiesty? His brother just dropped dead.
Yeah, his brother supposedly
His-
died of brain cancer right after his mixtape came out.
yeah. So nobody he didn't even have this is his very first mixtape and it just came out in February. So he just really just people like ever since he came out and notice it's all these D rappers. He gets a feature with Lil Durk. It drops the day King Von dies. King Von is supposedly the biggest gangster rapper. He dies. Then Pooh Shiesty's single comes out. He's been buzzing ever since 3 or 4 months now. And so it's like the death of King Von, and now they introduce you to another trash rapper, Pooh Shiesty. I mean, like this is trash. I mean, at least King Von's music you could at least listen to it, But Pooh Shiesty, I don't see nothing there. I can't get into it. But I'm not saying that he won't make a hit, but I don't hear any talent. But like I said, they'll take out the person with the talent and introduce you to somebody with way less talent. But so Drakeo the Ruler gets a feature with Drake, and then Catchy the Great drops dead. Pooh Shiesty gets a feature from Lil Durk. Now then his brother drops dead. And notice there's all these D rappers, right? Durk, Drakeo.
Well,
Drake.
Pooh Shiesty's brother who died was a rapper too, and his name was T to P, and his name had 111 gematria, and he died 111 days after Pooh Shiesty's birthday. And Pooh Shiesty's that magical age of 21. So
And it doesn't look good for him because he's signed to Gucci Man. It's not good when you sign to another rapper.
yeah,
It says he signed to Atlantic Records and 1017 Records. See, Shiesty Season, that's his first mixtape. It just came out less than a month ago.
yeah, it came out on February 5th. 2-5. There was a lot of celebrity deaths that day for the Super Bowl. Deaths 25, and then his brother died. Let's see. This says brother died February 27th, 22 days later.
Yeah, but that's how it happens now. Like that's how you blow up in the rap game.
Well, what was funny is like literally, I got done making a video about this. The same thing happened the day 21 Savage's brother died. I went in my car and I turned on the radio, and the first artist on the radio right after I did the Pooh Shiesty, because after I finished the video, I went to the post office, but I turned on Sirius XM, and Pooh Shiesty was on the radio. I thought, I have never heard of this guy before. And now look, he's on the radio as soon as the news breaks about his brother being dead. And it was the same thing with 21 Savage. I mean, well, I'd heard of 21 Savage, and he already had radio play, but
Yeah.
his brother died. I turned on the radio. That's exactly the song that was on. You just see it's like when these things happen, they just get more radio circulation. Or a guy like Pooh Shiesty makes it onto Sirius XM for the first time. So
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, his career is just gonna go. It's just gonna ascend. You know. But it goes to show. It's just like okay, like I just found out about this thing called All City Day, and so I put it in a calculator, right? and it's 59, all city day, right? It's 59 in reverse full reduction. So it's this thing called, I guess they're celebrating. There was on the old school radio station on satellite radio, LL Cool J's channel.
I see
So
it.
so it's a thing called All City Day, right? And All City Day equals 59, and All City Day is on the last day of February, which is the 59th day of the year. And All City Day was a dedication to Miami hip hop. So on this day, on the 59th day of the year, they had All City Day Miami, and they played nothing but Miami hip hop all day long on the 59th day of the year, and All City Day equals Miami. And it goes to show you how all manufactured it is and how all by the numbers it is.
I wonder why they chose Miami of all places.
Well, you know what I think it is? I think a lot of times like the hip hop that comes from Miami gets slept on. It's a lot of diverse music coming from Miami because the first people to come to Miami were from the Bahamas, Jamaica, Haiti, Dominican Republic, Cuba, of course, Puerto
Sure.
Rico. So
It's
there's a
like
lot of different kind of code. That's why the music out of Miami is so different. Like you got Luke Skywalker, and then you have somebody completely different like Denzel Curry. It's just like a big melting pot. But so I feel like maybe that's what they were doing. Like a lot of people realize this, that Miami hip hop gets slept on a lot. So
sure.
maybe it's something, they're trying to give it some props. Maybe it's something like that.
And for anyone who's never been to Miami, if you go there, you will feel like you are not in the United States of America. So
Oh yeah, I mean, I've seen some restaurants that say that have a sign. This is back in the day now. That have a sign that says we do not speak English here.
yeah,
Yeah, so if you don't know Spanish, you can't go in there and get any food.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and that's how it is at a lot of these restaurants in Miami. Like, English is like optional. English is almost like the second language down there.
yeah. It's interesting. Okay.
So, um, so, so what do you think about all this? Why do you like? Why do you think they're trying to make these rappers like look so bad? Like either this dude shooting somebody up, or this dude just got out of jail for doing this, or such and such family member died, or this rapper died himself, or this rapper got caught with a gun. I
Well,
mean,
it's
it's
all
just
part of programming. I mean, as we always say, they love to make black
program.
people look bad, so they love to use the entertainers.
Absolutely, yeah. It's
Like,
so
look, at
obvious.
he makes millions of dollars, and he still has to deal drugs. He still has to murder people. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's another reason I knew that the Bucks were going to win the Super Bowl, is because um, Her, this artist that performed in the Super Bowl. You know what I'm talking about? Her.
Oh
There's
yeah,
this
yeah, yeah.
artist that Yeah, there's this artist named Her, right? And she
Mhm.
performed at this past Super Bowl, and I found out that she's from Vallejo, California. And the year before that, the 49ers were in the Super Bowl, and E40 is a big 49ers fan, and he had this song called 49ers Anthem or something, right? And the 49ers lost the Super Bowl. And E40's from Vallejo, and then the next year they put an artist from Vallejo, and I just knew what was going to happen. I mean, that was just one of many clues, of course,
Well,
but
and
I
then the
just
other
knew.
one was just who Patrick Mahomes beat and who he lost to, because he beat Tom Brady's backup the year before, but then he lost to Tom Brady the next year. So
Right, right. Like the student loses to the master teacher.
just it's all just building the Tom Brady narrative. He can even win Super Bowls at age 43. So
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Just it's just weird how family members are dropping dead, like Honeycomb Brazy's grandparents. As soon as he signs a deal, there's a house fire.
Yeah, in Mobile, the Jesuit town. He's on Rap a Lot Records. Rap a Lot has that Gematria 83 like murder.
If
And then
they're oh
his hit song had just come out was called Dead People, which
yeah,
equals
yeah.
83 as well. Also 187 like Society of Jesus in Mobile, Alabama's got one of the Jesuit universities. And this music, I can't, it doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, these people have to know somebody because I actually took the time to listen to this guy's song and I was like, God, I mean, like, does anybody really like this song? I mean, this song is horrible. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's not even an acquired taste. Like you can't even acquire a taste for it.
it's just bad. It's just
Uh,
bad
I,
music. I mean, everything about it's bad. The lyrics are bad. The beat's bad. It's like, this song you just don't want to listen to. And it's called Dead People. I mean, come on, man. And then his grandparents are dead. From the day he put out the song to the day that his grandparents were found burned up in their house was 20 days later, and death is also 20. So, and then we're talking about that, and then just days later, then you have another rapper from this same town, Mobile, Alabama, and he's accused of being the
but
shooter.
and that's the reason why I brought up E40 because OMBPZ is signed to E40.
Okay, that's interesting. The Bay Area is not exactly next to Alabama, but
Right. So yeah, that's what I said. That's like that's interesting how because he basically E40 signed OMBPZ a long time ago when he was really young. So it's like he basically groomed him. And E40 is supposed to be this OG that would like is supposed to be guiding them in the right direction. I
got that
mean,
strong choices, just to making
yeah,
positive choices. Yeah.
right. Like like and I don't understand it. Like that's what I was saying before. Like, okay, why is one rapper shooting at another rapper when we're both filthy rich and we both came from the hood and we both came from not having shit, and now we shooting at each other? Now we finally get into we have spent hours and hours and hours in the studio. We finally get a deal, and now we're in the game to shoot each other. Some of this stuff it can't be real. It just can't be real. Like
It just brings
it's
attention. It just brings
that
attention. So I mean, that's
that's
all.
it. It's just yeah. It's like Tory Lane shoots Megan Thee Stallion in the foot. Like, yeah, right. How come they never showed her foot? Like that's all it is. It's just like so much negativity they want to bring up on hip hop, and hip hop didn't start like this with all this negativity. Hip hop is a beautiful art form, but they've corrupted it heavily. With wanting to be a pimp, wanting to be a drug dealer, wanting to be a gangbanger. They've corrupted it, and it influences all of us.
Do you remember like what the first negative hip hop story was? What would have been the first?
That's a good question. Scott LaRock?
I don't know. I'm asking you. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's just the first thing that comes to my mind. Is Scott LaRock was KRS's one partner, and he was one of the first. He was one of the first people to get killed. That's back in '87. Look, August 27th, 1987. DJ, he was. It was KRS One and DJ Scott LaRock, and that was the first one I can think of. That's
Here,
the first one I can think of off the top of my head.
have you ever decoded this?
I have not.
Well, let's just see what there is here. His birthday was March 3rd. It says it happened August 27th. It happened 178 days after his birthday. It's a Kabbalah number. It could be coincidence. Um. So again, what happened with this?
He was shot and killed. Um,
Is it
he
another
let's see.
unsolved mystery, or
Well, let's see. It says it here. Um, he said he was. They said D Nice was assaulted by men upset. Oh, I was just reading the screen. Um,
he was 25? That stands out right away. The death number.
right, and he was. I mean, he was a founding member. It was him and KRS-One that founded the group. But I
What?
don't know if I have not decoded this at all. I don't know if the killer was caught or what exactly happened. But that's just off the top of my head, that's the first negative story I can remember because he was a good DJ.
Were they
And what
when the shooting happened, or his name got the 38 in it in the most pure cipher, so he's got the fateful number. Plus, he was 25, so his name's 38, Scott LaRock, and then dead at 25. And says he was a social worker too. That's interesting.
hmm,
Well, let's see how it lined up with KRS-One because he still walks the earth.
right.
Oh, it came right after his birthday. His birthday is August 20th. So he had just turned 22, and then it happened 7 days later.
I mean, that's just crazy. Like,
So they were the duo that was Boogie Down Productions.
right, Boogie Down Productions.
I've noticed
But
that
it's
the 263 and at the 56th prime. Funny how that
eh,
all. Huh.
110 is prophetic. And, but it's just crazy how there always has when there's a group, there always has to be one of the partners that die. Like Guru from Gangstar, which we talked about last time.
Yeah.
Prodigy from Mob Deep, a Fife Dog from A Tribe Called Quest, Eazy-E from NWA. There always has to be like one of the members has to go, like Bushwick Bill from Ghetto Boys, Chinaman from Two Live Crew.
Yeah, those are all ones we covered in recent times too.
You know, it'd be interesting to see who goes first from Outkast.
Old
Yeah,
Dirty Bastard is the only member of the Wu-Tang Clan that's dead. So
yeah. And
shoot.
oh
Who,
yeah, that's what. Okay,
who is D Nice?
D Nice is he was another rapper that was part of the crew. But then he was part of the Boogie Down production. But then he went and had his own solo career,
Okay.
and he had a pretty successful solo career. And I mean, 1987. That was 33 years ago, 32 years ago.
Hold on. They
Yeah.
put out their album Criminal Minded in 87. It came
And
out
that was considered a classic.
it came out on 3/3. So it came out a day after his birthday. His birthday was the day before. That means that from the day the album came out to the day that he was killed was 177 days later. That big Jesuit number, the Jesuit Order 177, and then Boogie Down Productions is 263, the 56 Prime Lake Society of Jesus. So it got the Jesuit fingerprints on it, and then he was the member of the group who had the 38 coded into his name, so he was the one marked for death. And it looks like he was a little bit older too, because he's a few years older than KRS-One. So
Right.
yeah, it looks like that's what it was. Synced with the album. What else is new? Criminal Minded. Criminal Minded's got the old 74 in it.
74.
It's got the 74
88.
rapper, so. But reading
Is
about
it
that shooting
Program 88?
programs, yeah, I got the 88 too, yeah. D Nice, he was he's the youngest member. He was just 17 years old at the time. He was the baby of the group. happened 69 days after his birthday. But yeah, I think that's what it was, just synced with the album, and he had the wrong numbers.
Yeah, I think that's when it's honestly, I think that's when it started.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, I didn't remember. I was just a baby back then. I don't remember that story at all. I would have been 4 years old. So it says that D Nice discovered Kid Rock. Huh? That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I didn't know that.
So that's Kid Rock's connection. Huh? Okay. Well, it doesn't really. It doesn't say a lot about the shooting though.
Yeah, I know it's just like not that much information out there.
Yeah. So I just wonder, is it another one of these hip hop unsolved mysteries?
And then there's one of those sites we went on one time that gave you all the deaths in hip hop, and I remember Scott LaRock being like one of the very first ones, if not the first one.
Oh yeah, we found that list. That's right.
Yeah.
Or hold on. It says two men were arrested and charged with LaRock's murder, but they were acquitted at the trial.
Hmm.
So to look into that more. But yeah, what do you know? Just another example of 38-25. I mean, who were you talking about a second ago? That we were just saying February 5th was some rapper just a minute ago.
Oh yeah. Or just like last time we had a show how we broke down Guru's death and how because think about it, how it was associated with the Celtics. Because think about this, okay? Boston loses its biggest rapper, right? The biggest rapper to ever come out of Boston is Guru from Gangstar. And then we start thinking, and then we say, hey, the Celtics went to the finals that year and they lose. So it's like, okay, Boston loses its biggest rapper ever, right? And then the
Right.
Celtics lose in the NBA finals. So they made Boston take some losses that year, 2010.
Right. Right. Here, I'm going to put that one back up since we covered that last time. For people who missed our last live stream, we just broke that down in real time, the Guru death. He had the 17-7 birthday.
Yeah. I think he had the 130 in his real name.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, he died at age 48, 58 days before the NBA Finals ended that year. Boston Celtics 48, Los Angeles Lakers 58, Kobe Bryant 58, who was on that team then. The Lakers beat the Celtics. And he died on the 109th day of the year, Los Angeles 109. By the way, April 19th, it's going to be the 1 year anniversary of that shooting that got gun rights taken away in Canada. And that's the day leaving 256 days left in the air, and assault weapons ban equals 256. That's what happened in Canada after that shooting. Remember that a year ago? And they said that the shooter was driving around in a police car. They said it wasn't actually a police officer. Big story in Canada last year. But it seems like there's always something on April 19th. That's just always a funny day in history. We'll see what they do this year. But also from the day that he was hospitalized, February 28th, to the day the finals ended was 109 days as well. Again, that Los Angeles number. So, same stuff over and over.
Yeah, and then he had the 67 and the 86. It's just nasty, bro. Look the way they do it.
Yeah. Yeah, his birth name had the Keith Edward Elam 6786. So yeah, you better know your name, Jamachi, if you're going to show business. You find out your name's 38, 67, 44, you better just forget about it. So yeah.
For real. And then did you hear? Okay, Scarfo the Plug dropped dead at 23 years old. And a rapper from Atlanta.
Yeah,
Scarfo the Plug equals 201.
yeah, yeah. I got this one.
You got that one? Okay, let me see. Hold on, let me get back to you.
That was February 27th. But yeah, I'd even just forgotten that story, and it was just days ago. There's just so many of these stories to keep up with.
Scarfo yep. And then he's got the 201.
And he's down in
Uh,
New Orleans, the Catholic city. So,
Let me
and
give you.
I,
Let me give you. Huh?
when I looked at this, guys, like, look at this. He doesn't even hardly have a following. 2,797 followers on Twitter. Something New Roman Empire Records, and then his album was called "Welcome to New Rome." So, I mean,
Wow, what a name!
yeah, I mean, it
What
just
a name for an album.
yeah, it's obvious that the 201 thing is not a coincidence here. I mean, again, that's the Jesuits who served Rome. So, and then they called him Trap Jesus. That was his nickname. So he even had the Jesus thing going on for the Society of Jesus. Trap Jesus.
I'll give you a couple of. I'll give you a couple. I'll give you a few more 201s. Type in Mount Westmore.
What's that?
That's the name of this. That's the name. That should be 201, I think. Yep.
Yeah,
That's the name of the new super rap group in California. It's E40, Too Short, Ice Cube, and Snoop Dogg.
funny. That's
And
funny, man.
and that's another 201. You see how they put it in there? Like you could tell that they're not
Well,
coming up with
you
these
know what?
names on their own.
My first thought right away is Eazy-E, because Eazy-E died 201 days after his birthday.
Yep. And it's basically like NWA because Dr. Dre's on the album.
Yeah, and
It's
again,
everybody from NWA except for Easy. Well, I mean, I guess MC Ren's not on it, but yeah.
MC Ren put out a song a while ago, and you could tell he was just done with everything. I got to go find what that song was. It made me laugh. He was talking about how weak the industry is now. Yeah, but Eazy from his September 7th birthday, and that was the day Tupac was shot in history. And then LeBron James and Kevin Durant, they put out their song, or their like lost recording came out on September 7th, and the name of the song was "It Ain't Easy," and it came out on Eazy-E's birthday. And isn't that? I think it was the same day that the white rapper Mac Miller died, and like Cardi B and Nicki Minaj got in a fight. Just a bunch of stuff went on that September 7th. But it's Eazy-E's birthday. And then look at the
September
day
7th.
he died on 26/3, like 263, the 56th prime, like Society of Jesus. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to stick this one in the book about this Mount Westmore. This just shows all these years later, man. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
Cube
I mean, and
40.
all these old ass rappers too, bro. Like this crazy, man. Like, and Snoop is so trash. It's like they try to make this like who's even gonna listen to this? Like, it's a joke.
Oh, man, I gotta hear what Too Short sounds like in 2021, man. He always raps about how many chicks he's hooked up with. By now, he's got to have like a 45-minute straight track on it. So,
Yeah. Oh, ain't nothing changed with Too Short.
yeah, yeah. So,
And then it just shows that it goes to show you. And then I heard you talking about Arizona, right? I heard everybody's talking about the Cardinals lately. So I want to give you another 201. Type in Buda Baker. They say Buda Baker is like one of the top safeties in the NFL right now.
yeah, yeah. I had to check out
If you if you type Buda Baker in a calculator, it equals 201.
yeah, I see that.
But he's from around your way. He's from Washington, I believe.
Oh, he's from Jesuit town, Bellevue. Bellevue's 84 like Jesuit, so that makes sense.
So they do he was like he was getting all his praise. He's been getting all his praise the last couple years. You know, so he's one of so that's another 201. So I thought it was interesting because you know they got JJ Watt now. And it's crazy how they got basically two out of the top three players on the Houston team are on Arizona.
Oh, Hopkins and Watt.
Hopkins and JJ Watt.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you notice Harden, Springer, and J.J. Watt all left at age 31.
Yeah, that's crazy. I saw that when you said that last night.
And we've always called Houston the 31 city. They do so many 31 rituals with their sports games. Like if a team can pick up their 31st win or 31st loss against Houston, it happens, man. And it's just, I mean, we've been pointing this out for years when we decode the sport. So just to see all these guys leave at 31. And then, I mean, come on, J.J. Watt's the third one to leave, and he leaves on 3-1 for the $31 million deal. I'm pretty sure all these numbers for these guys' contracts are bogus. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. I mean, Black communities should be some of the richest communities in America based on how much these athletes make and how many of them are Black. But you don't see any of these monies making it back to any of these communities, so it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. But
think about this: Chuck D equals 31, right?
Hold on. Did you see that Houston lost their 13th straight game last night against the Nets and Harden and he left on the January 13th, and now Houston lost their 13th straight game against him last night?
Oh, no, I didn't. I missed that one.
I mean, it's just like, how can people look at this and just think,
oh, my God.
It's just like, okay, he leaves on the 13th, number 13, James Harden.
I would have bet on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just Lock City. It's just like, come on, man. They can lose their 13th straight game against Harden. Come on.
But just back to the 31 thing, Chuck D equals 31. And then remember what you're going to do when the grid goes down. And then all this shit went down in Houston. And Chuck D equals 31 for another 31. And if you look at the cover of the what you're going to do when the grid goes down, you could say it looks kind of like Texas. Not, maybe like the west side of Texas.
And then Valentine's Day is Arizona's birthday. So you see how they put it all together. Having Arizona on the cover because the grid went down on Valentine's Day.
And I think there's a 31 with Professor Griff, I believe. Let me see. Even though I didn't even notice him on this album, though. I don't even think he's on the album.
I think Progressive.
I don't know.
Didn't he leave the group? I don't think he's part of the group anymore. Flavor Flav's back in. He's in there.
Yeah. So
I thought it was funny that the song about the grid going down, Cypress Hill's the feature, because their old song is "What You Gonna Do When the Shit Goes Down." So it's like, come on, man.
Right.
The joke here.
Right. Yeah, so that's just another 31 in relation to Houston. And that's how I finally got my grandma to come around, is with the weather warfare chapter, or with the weather warfare stuff that was going on.
And they did another 52 because Valentine's Day got that 52. And that's the day they did it. It went crazy on Valentine's Day. So Valentine's Day got the 151 like power outage, which was the big clue. Power outage is also 52. The Great Reset, another 151. That's how we saw that date in advance.
Yeah, and Bun B, I heard Bun B on Instagram talking about 56% of the residents in Houston are out of power. He used that specific word. Yeah. 56%.
Let's see if they were putting that anywhere else. He must have got that stat from somewhere.
Yeah. But he's probably just heard it from somewhere. But it's just,
the Houston mayor said there were over 56 fire calls caused by the power outage. Yeah.
And then what's crazy is how the Travis Scott song relates to all this. And notice that the song features Drake again.
Oh, and then somebody told me that Drake even has a song with Travis Scott called Portland, and Portland and Houston were the two hardest hit cities with the power outage. Portland was out for over a week, and Damian Lillard's brother's name is Houston, and it was all synced up with Lillard too. And then Travis Scott's child is Stormy. But yeah, for people who missed this, Travis Scott's song Sicko Mode, which has these lyrics about out like a light, the single came out August 21st. 909 days before the power grid went down in Houston. And then J.J. Watt, number 99, wanted out of town at the same time. And 99 syncs up with Jupiter, which is the electrical planet associated with Zeus. It's got the lightning bolts. And then the power went out 75 days from Travis Scott's birthday, and Electric 75. He's with Epic Records, which is also 75. Electric and Valentine have a lot in common. Yeah, but just how they got all this stuff synced up. And then here, I'll pull up the Lillard thing too. It's crazy how Lillard was synced up so well because, again, Portland, where he's at, got it bad. And then when I think of Portland and Houston, I think of Clyde Drexler. Played college in Houston and went to the Rockets after he was done with the Blazers. But
Right.
Lillard's brother's name is Houston. And from his birthday, July 15th, to the day the power outage happened was 214 days. Like we write the date February 14th, 214. And then from the day the power outage went out to his upcoming birthday is 151 days. Like Valentine's Day and power outage are 151. So it's like, God. And what was weird is Portland had played Houston on January 28th. Date we were in 28/1 like 281. That's the Houston area code. There's got to be something more between these cities. Damian Lillard, by the way, his name's 56. Clyde Drexler, his middle name's Austin, where the power controls were for Texas. The city of Austin controls the power for the state. But yeah, I mean, it just goes to show how it's just when you start to see this stuff, it's like, God, this stuff is really damn weird. How they got all this shit mapped out. They got like these Manchurian athletes in town. They got them all lined up for their planned rituals. It's just like, again, it's like, are these people aliens who are running the show? Like, what is really going on here? So
that's what it must be. Look how to the point this is. Like, look how specific this is. On July 19th of 2020 was the 201st day of the year. Last year,
right.
there were 3 rappers that got shot and killed on that same day. CEO Los was a rapper from Memphis, Tennessee, shot and killed on 7/19/2020, the 201st day of the year. He was part of the Fast Cash music group. The word Memphis 83, 38, and 34. Murder 83, rapper 38, murder 38, killing 38. 2020 was the deadliest year to date for the city of Memphis, Tennessee. There were 332 homicides. A substantial amount were rappers. July 19th, 2020 was a date with 46 numerology. The word sacrifice equals 46. So check this out, right, Zach? Now, I heard you talking about Nick Cannon the other day, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they set up that black Jewish thing on the 34th day of the year, and black and Jewish are 34.
I'm gonna bring him up in 1 second. So that's the first rapper that got killed on last year on the 201st day of the year. The second rapper that got killed is Jackson R. Turner. Jackson R. Turner equals 187 and 61 and 191. Society of Jesus 191 and 187. Jesus equals 61. Church 61. Assassin 61. Jackson R. Turner equals 61. He was a New York rapper that died on July 19, 2020. July 19, 2020 was the 201st day of the year. He died in Tulum, Mexico. Tulum, Mexico equals 48. Evil 48. Illuminati 48. Freemason 48. Homicide 48. He was 37 years old when he died. He was born on 5/13/83.
Was he shot?
He was not shot. Let's see, he was born. They say the cause of death is unknown.
Well, if you're 37 and you die, you're in your 38th year of life, technically. So,
okay. He was born Okay, he was born 5/13/83. From his 37th birthday until the day he died was 67 days. Blood sacrifice 67, human sacrifice 67. And like I said, he died on the date with 46 numerology. Now this is the part. So that's the second rapper to die, right? Now this is the part where we get the Nick Cannon. Okay, on this very same day now, this is all the same day, July 19, 2020. Ryan Bowers was a rapper from San Diego, California. He committed suicide at age 24 on 7/19/2020. So, actually, we have 4 dead rappers on this date. This is only the third one. So Ryan Bowers was close friends with Nick Cannon, and he was signed to Cannon's label. On January 8, 2019, he was almost killed by a San Diego police officer. On this day, he also tried to commit suicide. He allegedly cut his throat with a knife on this day in 2019. When officers arrived on the scene, he pulled a different knife from his pocket and raised it towards officers. When he tried to approach officers with the knife, one of them shot him once, but he survived a life-threatening injury. Okay, so that was January 8, 2019. So from January 8, 2019, the day he tried to kill himself, until July 19th, 2020, is 79 weeks later. So the day he actually died was 79 weeks from the prior suicide attempt, right? Murder equals 79. Nick Cannon equals 44. Shooting 44. Kill 44. Execution 44. San Diego 74 and 38 and 43. Killing 74, 38, 43. Rapper 38. Murder 38. Suicide 34. Rapper 34. Murder 34. From the day Bowers died until Cannon's 40th birthday on 10/8/2020, what is 81 days. The word ritual 81 in 2 out of 4 ciphers. Kobe Bryant's career high was 81 points. Kobe Bean Bryant equals 81. San Diego is about a 2-hour drive to LA, where Kobe played his entire NBA career. Nicholas Scott Cannon equals 75. Kobe equals 75. The NBA's 75th season started in late 2020, and Bowers was 24 years old at the time of his death. Kobe wore the number 24. So think about this now. Like, that was Nick Cannon's artist that died on the 201st day of the year. One of 4 rappers that died on that same day. Now, here's the 4th rapper that died on 7/19/2020. His name was Forch Hogg. So the number 4, ORC Hogg, HOGG. So his name's Forch Hogg, however you say it. He was a rapper from Washington, D.C. He was shot and killed on 7/19/2020. Forch Hogg equals 73 and 46. He died on the date with 46 numerology. Sacrifice 73, ritual sacrifice 73. It's 2021. 73 is the 21st prime number. And so he died a few days after he dissed another local rapper. And so I just thought it was interesting that, I'm covering all the deaths from last year. I thought it was interesting that on the 201st day of the year, 4 rappers died.
Truly. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, just not a coincidence.
While you were talking about that, I just went back up and pulled up that website about just list of rappers killed over there. And it doesn't have every rapper, but you're right. Scott LaRock is the very first death on there. And we were just talking about how he died 177 days after their album came out. The next dead rapper on that list is Paul C., and he died on July 17th, 17/7.
Huh.
So again, just same patterns. Do you know who Paul C is?
No, actually,
He's actually a white rapper.
I've never heard of him. That's weird.
He worked with notable artists such as Devo, Organized Confusion, Kwame, Queen Latifah, Biz Markie, Ultramagnetic MCs, Rozelle, Eric B. and Rakim. Complex called him one of the most important figures in the development of sampling. And Questlove of the Roots called McCasty damn near the J Dilla of his day. Huh. He was, hold on.
Interesting.
It says he was a East Coast hip hop pioneer, producer, and engineer. So he didn't actually rap. He just worked behind the scenes. Huh.
Like an engineer.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, he died on 17/7. He wasn't very old. How did he die? He was shot to death. His murder was featured on America's Most Wanted.
At 24? Damn.
So that means he died in his 25th year of life.
But that's interesting how you asked me what's the first negative story I thought, and that's the first death they got.
Yeah,
Scott LaRock.
it is. It is.
Paul
Yeah.
C. I'm gonna have to look into him. I feel like I've heard the name, but I just don't know nothing about him.
Yeah. Wait, what year was that? That was in '89. So I just got to check real quick. I got to see how many days after his birthday it was. That was. See what the last album was that he worked on. At 42 weeks. Well, if you count the span of days, he died 43 weeks from his birthday. RIP's 43, so it was killing. And yeah, but that 17/7 date's what jumps out. So
177.
yeah, the Jesuit order. Yeah, but you just gotta ask, what are the odds that the first two hip hop deaths on the list have that 177 connection? We're just talking about young Pharaoh getting hammered in the mainstream headlines on the 177th day of his age, and then he made mainstream. He made late night television 177 days after his birthday, the next day. So,
Yeah, but that's just more proof he's a fraud.
yeah.
I mean, we already knew he was a fraud, but that just proves it even more.
Do you know who this brother Polite guy is?
Yeah, I used to listen to Polite back in the day, but I don't know. He got off. He got off the internet. Seemed like.
What was his claim to fame?
He was you know how Red and Blue Pill talk. He was
Uh-huh.
kind of like in their lane, but to me he made more sense than Red and Blue Pill. You know, he was kind of like in that lane. He was kind of like what's the other one? SETI. He was kind of like in SETI's lane, like they going down that road. But he actually Polite made a lot of sense, but I don't know why he got off of YouTube.
Yeah, I saw his video where he was going after young Pharaoh for making sexual remarks about his 10-year-old daughter. But in that video, he was showing all of his different pictures of himself courtside at basketball games. I was like, man, those are expensive tickets. This guy's making some kind of money somehow to be sitting at courtside all these games. So I was like, I don't know who this is.
Yeah, but he was out like I want to say I first found him like in 2013. 2013 back then, like
Okay.
2015.
Yeah.
Between 2013 and 2015, he was on YouTube a lot, and his channel was kind of big.
Yeah, he had 100 some thousand subscribers. So yeah. Sometime I have to go through all these deaths. Right on the next one on this list, the guy died on October 6th, the day leaving 86 days left in the year. So
Oh yeah,
time.
yeah. But I mean, I just think that um Yeah. 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 Appreciate it. Yeah. So, what I wanted to say about Catchy the Great is that it's just weird how somebody can get hit by a car. But there was also another rapper um that was killed in Los Angeles, and he was hit by a car. So his name is Slutty Sony, and with Slutty Sony equals 42. We know all about that. He was an Atlanta, Georgia rapper. On 8/31/2020, he died from a car accident. He was struck by multiple vehicles on a Los Angeles freeway and was pronounced dead at the scene. He was 20 years old and he died in 2020. Death equals 20. He was in a group called the Vampire Cult. The Vampire Cult equals 79. Murder 79. Sonny's car crash happened at the same time and location that a Los Angeles County Sheriff's transport bus hit and killed an unidentified pedestrian on August 31st, 2020, as reported by CBS Los Angeles. So at the same time, Slutty Sony was hit by multiple cars on this freeway. Somebody else got hit. Just an unidentified pedestrian was hit and killed at the same time. And so a change.org petition was started by a woman named Bree B, titled "Get Justice for Slutty Sony," demanding more information and details surrounding the rapper's death. So so the reason I brought that up was because they say Catchy the Great died by getting hit by a car in LA, but Slutty Sony was another rapper that got hit by on a freeway in LA. Like, what are the odds of this? Like, what are the odds of somebody getting hit by? I mean, I guess it happens, but for all these rappers to be dying in these car wrecks,
It's just like the day of the Super Bowl the other year. There was the former Colt who was supposedly walking on the side of the interstate and got hit by a car, and it was the news the day of the Super Bowl. It's like, come on, man! A former football player's getting ran over on the freeway the day of the Super Bowl. I mean, come on. So this happened to him August 31st, 2020. So that was a date with 79 numerology.
and
Murder.
that was August 30th, right?
Well, it says that it says he was hit just after 3 a.m. on August 31st, and he has 3 a.m. tattooed on his throat.
Yeah, but what are the odds that you're walking down the Los Angeles freeway at 3 in the morning? Like, it don't add up. Like, what are you doing walking on the freeway at 3 in the morning anyway? Like, and if you notice, okay, on 8-3, 8-3, it's always a rapper dying on 8-3.
Well, look at this. So 8 plus 31 is 39, right? And the word vampire in the most pure cipher is 39, just like mosquito is. That was one of my first observations back when I worked in the notebook. I was like, weird, mosquito and vampire are the exact same gematria. That's weird. But so he's in this vampire cult and this 3 a.m. thing. He's got 3 a.m. on his throat, and then he's killed on August 31st about 3:20 a.m. in the morning near Osborne Street. That's also weird because this makes me think of like he looks like his style looks like Ozzy Osbourne. So
right, like Extentacion, like
yeah, Osborne's got the gematria 38 and 34, like rap. Well, and 88. So
and 88 and the 101.
yeah, rapper got 34, 38, 88. Yeah, so it's like, I mean, come on, man. Who's this walking in I-5? I-5 is the massive freeway that runs from Canada to Mexico.
At
So,
3:20 in the morning, like and like you said, he has a 3 a.m. tatted on him. It's the same thing with King Von. He's got the song called 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. and he dies at 3 a.m.
yeah.
on the 33rd parallel in Atlanta. And this rapper right here is from Atlanta, Slutty Sony.
How do you even come up with this name?
Slut,
Slutty Sunny.
Slutty Sonny. Yeah.
Like
Got the 42 on it.
93, yeah. Do you know what his birthday is?
I tried to look that up.
Notice what day the news it looks like all the news was published on September 7th as well. There's always hip hop news on September 7th. It's not good. Again, that's Eazy-E's birthday.
And that's the day Mac Miller dropped dead.
And that's the day Tupac was shot in history. So it's
December 5th.
December 5th. I gotta just see. Jordan Williams is his birth name. But yeah, I mean, you can just see that it's a ritual. Let's see. So he died
96
days before his birthday, or a span of 97. The divisors of 96 sum to 42. 42 and 96 of those numbers together. Span of 97, death's 97. And then that means from his last birthday to his death, 270 days, or he died on his 271st day of his age. 270 is like 27, like Ritual. 271 is the 58th prime, like Secret Society. And since it happened in LA, the Lakers won the championship on October 11th. I don't know I don't know enough about this guy's music, but I don't know if he ever made a song about the Lakers since it happened in Los Angeles. August 31st, 2020. This was right around the time the NBA resumed. That was like the end of July. October 11th is the day they won the finals. Oops, I got the wrong date in there. God, look at that, man. They did win the finals 41 days after he died in LA.
Wow.
41 and Kobe Bryant's 41.
That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of the rappers' deaths last year, it's like they hooked it up all with Kobe. Like it's just crazy. Like
and LeBron too, because remember
LeBron.
Lakers won the finals 41 weeks after his birthday, and King's 41, like Kobe Bryant's 41, like LA's 41. So again, for people who can't grasp the base system, I mean, that's why you got to have it. Because how else are you going to make King 41, LA 41, and Kobe Bryant 41, dead at 41? LeBron wins at 41 weeks after his birthday. It's not a coincidence. And again, I mean, just for people who can't get their head around it, I mean, Kobe Bryant, 41 and 157 in the base ciphers, dead at 41 on his 157th day of his age. I mean, these things are mathematically improbable. Just the other day, they came out with that fake story about the death of the officer Sick Nick, who died at 42. And on the 57th day of the year, they said he died from bear spray. It's like, come on, man. I can tell you about this bear spray thing. I just took some to the face. It definitely hurts, but I can't imagine it would kill anybody. So they just put out news by the numbers.
Yeah, and don't underestimate the King Von thing, because LeVon James equals 116, 11/6, and he died on 11/6.
and his whole thing, because he died 35 weeks after that album came out. LeVon James died on November 6th, 35 weeks after the album came out. And what was it, 55 days from LeBron's birthday?
Yeah, and the day the album came out, we predicted his death, March 6, 2020.
And our specific words are, it doesn't look like he has much longer to live. So.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
But I mean that's the thing. And just to bring it back to Pooh Shiesty, the day he dies, the same day King Von died is the same day we get introduced to Pooh Shiesty. Now Pooh Shiesty was around before he came out with the song with Lil Durk, but when he made that song, and think about it, Back in Blood, the song's called Black in Blood, and your homeboy just died, King Von, and that song comes out on that same day, and ever since then, Pooh Shiesty's buzz has increased, and especially now that his brother's dead. So it just goes to show you how planned out they got all this. Like we get rid of King Von, and now we give you the next rapper. And Pooh Shiesty needs to watch out too, because his numbers ain't good either.
Well, and again, his brother's name was T to P, so his brother's name was P, and his name was Pooh. P and Pooh.
It's shitty. It's like shitty cuz.
Indeed, it is. It is. We're coming up on the anniversary of the death of Nipsey Hussle.
So let me pull up these lyrics for the song. This would be song 498 on my list. So pull up if you would. Immortal Technique, Industrial Revolution. I'm gonna read some parts of the first verse, but then I'll read the whole second verse. So this is my song number 498. 498. So me and Zach are doing the top 500 hip hop songs of all time, or the most important hip hop songs of all time. And trust me, when it's over, it's gonna be good. So so here it is. The bling bling era was cute, but it's about to be done. I'll leave you full of clips like the moon blocking the sun. My metaphors are dirty like herpes, but harder to catch. Like an escape tunnel in prison, I started from scratch. And now these parasites want a percent on my ass cap, trying to control perspective like an asset flashback. But here's a quotable for every single record exec. Get your fucking hands out of my pocket, nigga, like Malcolm X. But this ain't a movie. I'm not a fan or a groupie, and I'm not the type of cat you can afford to miss if you shoot me. Curse to the heavens and laugh when the sky electrocutes me. Immortal technique stuck in your thoughts, darkening dreams. No one's as good as me. They just got better marketing schemes. So let's go down a little bit. Let's go down a little bit. Scroll down a little bit. I'm just gonna go down a little bit here. Okay, right here. Let's see. I want $53 million for my callous hands, like the Bush administration gave to the Taliban. And fuck packing grams, nigga. Learn to speak and behave. You want to spend 20 years as a government slave? 2 million people in prison keep the government paid. Stuck in a 6x8 cell, alive in a grave. I was made by revolution to speak to the masses. Deep in the club, toast to truth. Reach for your glasses. I born in an orphanage just to bring heat to you bastards. Innocent, deep in a casket, Colombian fashion. Intoxicated off the flow like Thug's passion. You motherfuckers will never get me to stop blasting. You better off asking Ariel Sharon for compassion. You better off begging for 20 points from a label. You better off battling cancer under telephone cables. Technique chemically unstable, set to explode. Foretold by the Dead Sea Scrolls written in codes. Sir, if your message ain't shit, fuck the records you sold. Because if you go platinum, it's got nothing to do with luck. It just means that 1 million people are stupid as fuck. Stuck in the underground, a general that rose to the limit. Without distribution, managers, a deal, or a gimmick. Revolutionary Volume 2, murder the critics and leave your fucking body dead rotten for the roaches and crickets. That's it.
Yeah. He's definitely lyrically talented, that guy. He's got that messed up song too about like being peer pressured into raping a woman, and then he finds out it's his own mom. That song is messed up. I forget what that's called.
Oh yeah, Dance with the Devil or something.
Yeah, it's a messed up song. Yeah.
But yeah, so this song came out like in 2001 or 2003, but it was like right at the height of like bling bling, and everybody was talking about how much jewelry and ice they had, and he kind of went against the grain on this one. You know, that's why he starts the song off like the bling bling era was cute, but it's about to be done. You know, because he came from a different perspective. You know
what's funny is today Sirius XM, when I was driving to the post office, channel 42 was still the Hip Hop 500 countdown, and then when I came out of the post office, it was a different station. They changed it to something else. Now it's called Sound 42, and I think it's just electronic music.
really.
They ended the hip hop countdown like midday out here. It was like probably around 3 p.m. West Coast time. They changed the station. Yeah, I never got to hear any of the top, and it was never in the car at the right time to hear the top 10. So I never got to see what their top 10 songs were.
Oh wow, they probably didn't get enough people listening to it.
I realized they switch up their stations a lot. They even just took
Yeah, I
down my
noticed that.
favorite station for a minute. They took down Soul Town 49 for a while, and they changed it to the all Aretha Franklin channel. I was mad. I was like, come on, man, who wants to listen to Aretha Franklin all day? I know she does. She has 42 albums, Aretha Franklin, so I mean they can do that with her music. But then after like 2 weeks of that, they brought back Soul Town. But yeah, the and again, 42 was just the reggae station not long ago, and then they made it the top 500 hip hop countdown, and now it's this sound.
Yeah, I remember when it was the reggae station.
It was the joint.
Yeah. See, now I listen to it off the app. I don't have it on the radio. But
Okay.
yeah.
Mine's I canceled mine, so I just have it until what I'm paid for.
And whenever it gets yeah. But they'll give you like 2 or 3 months with it anyway.
It was funny. The lady's like, after I said nope, she's like, okay, well, let me come at you with one more offer. One more offer. I was just like, I don't want it. I said, I can just put together a better playlist on my phone. I said, there's no point in paying for this.
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, most of the shows is trash. I mean,
it is. I'm just tired of it, man. And I'm tired of just through the stations and it's the same damn songs. It's like, this isn't much different than the radio. Why is everybody's got to play the same songs over and over?
Yeah, I know. At first they sold you because it was no commercials, but now they became just like the radio. Like even though there's no commercials.
That's what's good about it is there aren't commercials besides their little commercials for their own little thing. But
and I remember I used to hang out with this old man, and he told me that the only reason he listened to the radio was for the commercials. It was crazy. I'm like, because they play so much commercials, he started enjoying the commercials. Like, wow.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. All right, man. Well, you want to leave it there tonight?
Yeah, that's all I pretty much got.
Okay, Jonathan. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, for sure. I'll get back with you.
All right, man. You have a good night.
Peace.
All right, see you, man.
Yep.
Okay. I'm trying to remember how to end the broadcast on here.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
We'll still be on after you end it, right?
Well, I'm going through the menu. I found a way to ban you. I can just ban you permanently.
Oh, really?
No, here it is. All right, man. All right.
All right.
Let everybody have a good night.
Peace.
See you.